Hello and good day. So time, tense and aspect is what we will be doing today. Time, as you all know, is a universal non-linguistic concept and divided into past, present and future. By tense, we understand correspondence between the form of the verb and our concept of time. And aspect concerns the manner in which the verbal action is experienced or regarded, whether it is complete or in progress. And mood relates the verbal action to certain conditions like likelihood, possibility, obligation, and necessity, etc. So while time and aspect, they are related with present and past. Mood is connected with future, and we are considering here present and past in relation to progressive and perfect aspects. So talking about present first, present may be divided into three categories. That is, starting with timeless present. Timeless present, which expresses which expresses something which goes beyond the limits of time. It also includes a habitual action. For instance, I write with a special pen, or he goes for jogging. He goes for jogging daily. That's a habit. But it also expresses universal truths like the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. Spiders have 8 legs, or water boils at 100 degrees centigrade. These are universal truths which are expressed by this timeless present. Then we have a limited duration, the temporary present, present for a limited duration. This I am writing with a special pen. So this is just a limited duration. Or normally he lives in London, but he's living in Boston right now. That is also temporary. It is not permanent. It will make it more clear. Let's make it more clear by this example. Suppose I say that my father works in a bank. This is an example. My father works in a bank, and against this sentence, my father is working in the garden. So the second sentence says that he's working in the garden. He's doing something which is not his permanent job. So permanence is connected with the simple present, while the ing progressive with the progressive temporariness is connected. Let's have another example. We are sleeping in the kitchen during this cold weather. Normally we sleep in our bedrooms, but because it is very cold, we are sleeping in our kitchens during this cold weather. This is a temporary condition. And the third present that we are going to talk about is the instantaneous present. That is saying something at the time of talking, like now watch carefully. First I write with an ordinary pen. Now I write with a special pen. So whatever you say instantaneously, you can describe a thing. You can also describe a declaration. For instance, declarative or a performance, like I named this ship Titanic. So all this can be done by this instantaneous present. The instantaneous present is also used for running commentaries, like John passes the ball to Smith and Smith kicks and it's a goal. Or Tendulkar comes on the back foot and hits that ball and it's a boundary. So all these things, running commentary and all, they are expressed by instantaneous present. Now, having talked about the three types of present, let's talk about past. When we talk about past, we have to take into considerations 4 points. That is, an action, whether when we view the action, we have to see that whether that action happened only at a point of time in the past, or it happened over an extended period. Then we see whether that extended period extends up to the present, or it relates only to the past. And if it relates only to the past, we see whether that activity or event or action was complete or incomplete. Now, coming to the first point, we can We can give four sentences, four examples for these situations. Now coming to the first, that is at a point of time. Example is, that is, I wrote my letter with a special pen. I wrote my letter of 27 July 1998 with a special pen. That is a point of time. Or I have written with a special pen since 1998. That's a period starting from 1998, which extends up to the present. Then the third example is I wrote with a special pen from 1999 to 2002. That is an extended period of time which relates only to the past. And then the fourth sentence may be, that is, I was writing poetry with a special pen. Now, all these four sentences, they express the four situations that we were talking about. Now, habitual past may also be expressed by used to and would, that is, he used to write with a special pen, a habit which he used to do in the past, or he would write with a special pen. Now, having talked about past, we differentiate between the present perfect and the simple past. For instance, let's take a couple of examples, like John lived in Paris for 10 years. So by this sentence, we mean that the John no longer stays in Paris. He lived in Paris, and perhaps John is no longer alive. But on the other hand, when we use present perfect, like John has lived in Paris for 10 years. In this case, John is still alive, and the period of his residence may extend up to the present moment, or it may have ended at some unspecified date in the past. Let's take a few more examples for present perfect and past. I'll give you another example. For generations, Nepal has produced brilliant mountaineers. This says that this means that Nepal is still in a position to produce brilliant mountaineers. Let's look at the second sentence. For generations, Sparta produced fearless warriors. Or for generations, Sparta was producing fearless warriors. So Sparta is not in a position to produce, it does not produce the fearless warriors anymore. It's not in the position to produce fearless warriors. Now, this is the difference between present perfect and simple past. Now, we can have, there are different adverbials for simple past and different adverbials for present perfect. For simple past, we use adverbial that relates only to the past. And for simple present, the period, it starts from the past and stretches up to the present. And there are some adverbials which are used for both past and present perfect, like today, for an hour, this month, etc. Now, let's talk about past definite and past indefinite. Now, when we talk about present perfect, there is some indefiniteness about present perfect. When we introduce a topic in any discourse, we start with present perfect, which is indefinite. Because we start from the unknown, then the topic or anything becomes known to us. Then it becomes more definite to us. So we always start with indefinite. And indefinite is, for instance, an example, I have been to Paris. That's indefinite. At any time in your life, he can say that I have been to Paris once. But on the other hand, we have I went to Paris last year, which is definite. Let's have a couple of more examples. He says that he has seen a meteor at some time in his life. This is indefinite. But when we say that he says that he saw the meteor last night that everybody is so excited about, this becomes definite. This is past definite, and that is indefinite. Another example will make the things clearer. For instance, did you know that John has painted a portrait of Mary? This is indefinite, and there are various indicators to indicate that it is indefinite. Did you know that John has painted a portrait of Mary? Is an indefinite article. So we are describing indefiniteness. On the other hand, we have, did you know that John painted this portrait of Mary? So this is definite. This portrait against a portrait. Present perfect in the first case against simple past in the second case. So this is the difference between indefinite past and indefinite past and definite past. For definite, we use the simple past, and for indefinite, we use the present perfect. Now, let's have a difference. Describe a difference between simple past and present past perfect. Now, I'll give you one more example, one more sentence. When I met John, he had lived in Paris for 10 years. So here we have the time of speaking, we have the time of meeting, then the past goes to more past, that is remote past, and from that the period stretches to this point of meeting. So he says that when I met John, he had lived in Paris for 10 years. So past, it goes further past. So that is what past perfect is used for. Now let's also see the differences between the past progressive and just the past. For instance, I was writing poetry with a special pen, but my hand grew tired. Or another example, when I was reading, the phone rang. That is, some activity was in progress and some other activity happened. When I was reading, the phone rang. And let's also talk about complete and incomplete action. Now let's look at the first sentence. That is, I read the book, and I read the book last night, or I was reading the book last night. I read the book, I was reading the book. So I read the book, that says that the action is complete. And I was reading a book, that says that action, we do not know whether the action was complete, whether the book was read completely, or the action is incomplete. Another example is, the girl was drowning in the river, but probably someone jumped in and rescued the girl. And the second sentence is, the girl drowned in the river. So in the first case, the action is incomplete. The girl is still alive. Somebody was able to rescue her, save her. But in the second case, she could not be saved. The girl drowned in the river. The difference between simple past and past progressive. That is, action that was complete, action which is incomplete. And now we can also describe some habits which were taking place over a limited period of time, which took place over a limited period of time. For instance, at that time we were bathing daily. So that was for a limited period. At that time we were bathing daily, a limited period. Or it can also be used to express annoyance. John was always losing his keys. That is said pejoratively, or it's annoying that John was always losing his keys. So it can also be used. It can also be used for to convey an emotional color, emotional coloring. And then we come to the difference between present perfect, past progressive, and perfect progressive. Now I'll give you another example that he has eaten my chocolates. That is, they are all gone. This is what it entails. This is what it implies. Or he was eating my chocolates, but I stopped him. And the third case, that he has been eating my chocolates, but there are some left. He has been, to perfect progressive, for perfect progressive, we need something, some indicator, some evidence. Now we can say, let's have a look at two more examples. It has rained a great deal since you were here. This is one example. And we can also say, oh look, it has just been raining. Now when do we use this perfect progressive, it has just been raining? When we have some evidence on the basis of which we can claim that it has just been raining, because the rain has started from before some time, and it is continued. Now it is still continuing to rain. So that is the time. We should have some evidence on the basis of which we can say this perfect progressive, that it has just been raining. So we talked about the present, we talked about past, the 4 points of past, and we talked about the differences between past and past progressive, present perfect and past, and present perfect and past progressive, and a simple past. So we have completed present and past. In the next lecture, we'll be talking about the number of ways, we can describe future. And also we will be talking about one more aspect, that is the mood. So thank you very much.